Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. We are getting here right on time. We got a couple of special guests for you tonight. We got Zack lined up, and then we've got a secret special guest host. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so we got somebody else that's going to come in and help Ryan run the show tonight. We'll introduce you to him here in a minute.
These people they've done miss more than they ever wanted to see.
Oh, I know it.
So far, and that was just out of the pregame lobby.
Yeah. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
Slightly queasy, yeah. I never thought I would get to see our special guest in such a scenario.
Yeah, to let everybody know, we just saw the upshot from the top of a urinal while somebody was preparing to come on the show. I tried to get a screenshot of it, but I couldn't before we lost him.
He's too quick.
But Seraphin asked the Rona. No, just fighting off a sinus infection. Summertime sinus sucks, but it's all good. We're gonna have a good time tonight anyway. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Before we get started on anything, how about a little JT update, Ryan? Save JT tournament update.
Oh, man, we need 17 more people. 17 more people to hit 1,000. It is insane. We've had another gentleman in North Georgia donated a shoal bass guide trip. We've had a tackle shop out of Cleveland send in a couple gift cards. And a local guy out of South Georgia donate some hats that he makes, his own company's hats that we're going to give out as prizes as well. So stuff is still coming in. Again, the support is amazing. I love it. 17 more people to hit 1,000. When we hit that, I'm good. I'll quit harping on y'all all the time, but I want that 1,000.
We're officially at 16 now, 984.
16, yes. We got this.
30,
we got it.
There's 35 people watching right now. So if any of you 35 have not signed up, get in there and
sign up. Come on.
Sign up.
We have a ton of raffle prizes. We have rods. We've got an Orion cooler. We have an Old Town kayak, a motor guide, trolling motor, lithium batteries. I mean, we have all kinds of great stuff just in the raffle section. That does not include the prizes for the actual event. So come on and sign up. Let's do it.
Oh man, it's we're gonna get there. I know we are. I mean, it's only July 19th. We still got 10, 11, 12 days. I don't know how many days left in the month, but we're gonna get there.
Listen, I'm not putting any additional pressure on anybody. My birthday is Sunday, and all I want for my birthday is to see 1,000 on this Save JT tournament. So do me a favor and sign up if you haven't. Thank you.
There you go. We're gonna get there. I know it. And happy early birthday, Ryan. It's like the month of birthdays.
I hope I make it.
You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it.
Dude, happy birthday, Jay Whalen. Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't mean to take away from you, Jay. Happy birthday, brother. Good job.
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
We got people in the YouTube comments and the Facebook comments. We got Robert over on YouTube. Clifton's over on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. I'm assuming Clifton must be in the poor standing with Mr. Zuckerberg right now. So we're glad he's still over there watching on YouTube, man. Appreciate you, buddy.
I appreciate you, Cliff.
Yeah. So a few things went on before we get Zack in here and talk to him. this week. You know what? Let's bring our extra special guest host in here while we talk about these things. Then we'll get Zack in. I know he's in there patiently waiting.
Is he done? Is our special guest all
Yeah, he's done with the urinal. He's done with the urinal, it looks like, so we can get him in here. There he is.
Oh,
the Possum
King. Hey, all right.
Hey.
Back in action.
Down in sunny Florida.
Where are you at, Mark? What are you doing?
Oh, I moved. I'm in the pool now.
In the pool.
You're in the pool?
Where?
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm at the Rosen right here in Orlando across from the convention center.
What are you doing down there, would you say?
I was at the bar, but it's too noisy and I couldn't talk to you guys. So,
but what's your purpose for being there? I'm trying to give you leading questions.
oh, my bad. I was invited down by Hummingbird and Minn Kota.
To?
Damn helicopter. But I was invited down by Hummingbird and Minn Kota to come just hang out at the show and see everything. So
what show is that, Mark?
Mark's an iCast, everybody. He won't tell us, but he's a freaking iCast.
I'm at the dog show convention, actually.
My boy.
There's a good service dog convention going on today. Y'all totally missed the big show.
Well, don't touch him there, please.
Oh, my. Starting off with a bang. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, good times. Good times. So, yeah, we want to touch on a few things before we slide Zack in here. We don't want to let him get mixed up in this, although when he comes in, he can comment on some of this if he wants to. What are we going to hit on first, Ryan? We talked about JT tournament, but Mark's at ICAST. We can go there first if you want. What do y'all think?
We can touch it, man. Game changers, game enders. Let's start off with ICAST Pass. What are some of the favorite memories from ICAST Pass? I shared one the other day, which was the super flexible Gumby sort of fish stick. That was probably my most watched video that I've ever put out ever. That one blew up, and I think that was probably close to the final straw that got me kicked out of KBF was posting that video. But we've seen a lot of innovations come through ICAST that we really expected to make an impact on the game. What are some of yours, Mark?
Ooh. I liked your fish stick video. That was hilarious, only because it cost Chad Hoover money. But
well, all right.
What was that frog that we had a while back that it came out and then it just disappeared and people were double selling that thing?
Shane called it the heckle sprinkler.
The heckle, the sprinkler
Teckle.
frog.
I think it was actually Teckle Sprinkler or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Worst frog ever made. Never caught a fish in the slide.
Yeti bucket. Everybody's throwing up that Yeti bucket. Boys, that changed the game, man. That's the
Have y'all not seen
insulated
that
water
bucket?
bucket.
That bucket was phenomenal.
See?
I bought one for my dad. Still sits in the garage. He uses it as a table saw.
Mark approves. Jeff, what about you? What do you got up there?
Old Town's won best of show a few times down there, so that's always
Here
good.
we go.
However,
we're talking about game enders. Jeff.
All right. However, with a bucket winning best of show one of the years, it kind of takes the shine off that a little bit. Well, I know.
Hey, it's all plastic, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's usually some of the lures, man. I've seen some of those topwater ducks and spiders and all that nonsense have won in the lure category before, and it never makes it. What was it one year? The weights that were shaped like rocks that were supposed to be some sort of deal for Carolina rigs or something that won like best of their category. Never did make it. I don't even know if they ever made it to market, but it was the goofiest looking thing I've ever seen. But it won some.
Never heard of them.
Bob just threw out the Booyah Toad Runner is 100 times worse than the Sprinkler Frog. Bob, I'm not even trying to mess with anybody here. I got third place in Tennessee State 2 years ago on Chickamauga using that Booyah Toad Runner. That's the only thing they would freaking eat. So I hate to throw a wrench in the plan there.
It and that rusty hook just sit together year round.
Hey, man, I mean, I don't know. If it ain't in the bottom of my kayak, it'll catch fish anyways. I think Dan says he thinks the biggest flop was the Vibe submarine. I mean, sheer water. That was the game ender. And by game ender, they meant you're going to have to call the Coast Guard to get back to the beach. That was really what that marketing scheme was all about.
Savage Gear bat Andy threw in there, which is kind of similar to what I was talking about, those animal animal-based topwaters.
I like it.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was that Feel Free drive that debuted three years in a row. I guess they still couldn't get the thing right, so it just kept on rolling out, baby, brand new in the briefcase.
For the older folks here, that reminded me so much like an erector set. It used to look.
Patrick Malone is in the comments touching on them hot buttons. Pivot drive. Speaking of debuting a couple times, the old pivot drive out there.
Ooh, sketchy. Yeah, good stuff. I'm anxious to see what comes out. I talked to Mark, and I was going to talk to Steve about trying to catch a little live vid from the floor in ICAST if they were up to it over the next day or two. So
I
we'll see if
want
we
to see
can.
the Bonafide. I want to see the new Bonafide with the native drive. I want to see how that thing turns mostly. I'm interested to see Hobie's new debut, the Ike Firecracker, whatever the announcement is.
Biggest flop ever. I mean, what?
What? Oh my God! Look at this Old Town shade in here. This is crazy tonight.
I mean, if it don't sit in one place by itself, is it really worth the money?
Jeff
Ooh.
Sherwood said the baseball fish finder.
What do you mean? That's what I use,
The
Jeff.
thing that shit you cast out and run through there. You remember that, don't you?
The eye bobber? Isn't that what that was called or something like that?
Bobber. I would probably have
The
to
little
throw
radar
the,
bobber?
I think those color scheme attack Bonafides. I think those will probably have to be somewhere up the list there.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
The Avengers series?
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. The Avengers
Bomb
series.
popsicle Bonafides.
Good stuff.
But I will be at the on the water demo tomorrow. I'm gonna go fish Lake Hart in the morning because they're running a tournament out of Lake Toho. So
don't get ran over out
there. And then head back over for the demo on the water.
They ain't got no respect for kayaks, so you keep yourself.
Yeah, you had to rent a bass boat. They wouldn't let you compete in the kayak. It was horrible.
Well, we'll be anxious to hear your report from the floor, my man.
Oh yeah, I got you.
What else we got? What else we got going, Jeff? We don't want to keep our boy waiting too long, but we got.
Yeah, well, he's actually not in the waiting room right now. He is searching for another device to try to get back in.
All right, then we'll keep
so
rolling.
We got time. I talked to my man Garrett Morgan about his poor dog Pancake. That if you guys saw the post on the group page earlier this week, Pancake was one to get paid. Still not paid. Pancake is still not paid from the KBF May monthly event.
So to clear it up, though, I mean, from the screenshots that were available, he received an email to his email saying they didn't have his email.
Yes, the latest news is
they
sent his payment in June to the wrong Garrett Morgan.
Ah, of course. Why not? That's chaos right there. I'll go ahead and. That is absolute chaos.
Wait a minute. We got breaking news in the comments. Garrett Morgan says Pancake is paid.
Whoop, whoop. Yes.
There you go, brother. Take her
You're
to
welcome.
a nice.
KBN did its job.
Take her to a nice dinner, Garrett. Glad to hear that. So
about what just happened over here, Mark. Gosh dang. You just
good. We know you got that thing. We know you got that thing propped up on some salt shakers and napkins.
No, it's on a Kleenex box like it always is. And I had a little sunshade built, and then everything fell apart.
Jokes aside, though, what do y'all think the deal is with the still having the payment problems?
Not
lack of leadership.
Paying attention. No, I mean seriously, I just don't. I think that it is a lack of concern for the anglers. Like, we get your money on the front end. Whenever you get your money on the back end is a different story. I don't think that the angler first mentality is there. And I think that's always been the case. And that points came up again and again, not only in payments, but also in tournaments and the way that they were ran. And that's gotten better this year. I'll be the first to say it has gotten better. They're doing more for the anglers, which is great. You should promote the people that are actually moving your business forward. That's how that should work.
I mean, it was like I saw a post from Amanda, and I've never had a problem with her before, but she was like, I understand everything's behind, but I've been on vacation for the last week. Well, shit, any other company I've ever worked for in my life, if I was not there to do my job, somebody was doing it for me.
And I mean, I understand people are on vacation. People have certain roles, whatever. That was May. Like Garrett's been waiting to get paid since May. You know that's not a thing.
No, that's not cool. And then we had another little dust up with, I guess, KBBT related with the KFL Bandits.
Bandits. Good old
Bandits.
bandits.
What y'all know about that?
Smokey and the Bandit, baby.
It sounds like a disqualified angler showed up to fish around his team, but not technically in the tournament. They disqualified the whole team for it.
Oh, like from the tournament or from the league?
I just believe that one event they had, the team was disqualified from.
I mean, to be honest with you, that's probably the right call by KFL because you can't have. I wouldn't think in a team tournament you have some outside person that is not involved in the tournament, like hanging around and fishing with them. I don't think that would be copacetic.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
I mean,
bizarre.
If I fished a giant one-day team tournament, I would not like a disqualified angler leading his team to victory. That kind of pissed me off.
You're right.
Brad,
I want to hear more about that. We got a guy working on the inside scoop on that.
Oh shit!
I mean,
should have
the
messaged to
Bandits made a
Lemoy.
post.
Bring him on.
The Bandits made a post. I mean, I would like to hear, kind of what's happening there. Bradley Cannon says the rematch is set in the comments. So we're going to find out.
Rematches?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I think Garrett participated in the KFL thing this weekend.
Did he get paid?
I don't think they pay. I think that's that on the front end.
There's no entry or something. We had a little back and forth. I asked if he got a keychain or anything from it. That hadn't happened yet, but it's on the way. It's on the way.
I think that deal is weighted towards the playoffs or championship or whatever is where the money. That's where the money really comes in. I think the regular season's just for pride.
Okay.
I like it.
Something like that. Yeah, you guys correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Still waiting on Zack. He is having trouble with his device. I'm from Ohio. He's living in Michigan. I could say a lot of things about that because Michigan. But I won't.
G Money said Arkansas Hogs got that W on Hamilton.
On the Hamilton, huh? Okay. I
That's
feel
what
you.
he said.
I know Hamilton.
The team out of Texas is stacked, especially if you got extra competitors showing up at the ramp. It's extra stacked. Double up, triple up. We got the Tennessee Bass Nation Kayak State Championship happening the week after Susky on Chickamauga. I've been getting a bunch of messages about that today, so hopefully we get a solid turnout for that. Something Steve-O started last year. We had our qualifying events started with our state championship and ran through the winter. We're going to do a similar thing this year. Steve-O wants to hold some of the bigger Bass Nation events in the wintertime. That's kind of the off season for the national tournament trails. That way more people have an opportunity to fish and qualify. So we're really looking forward to seeing what the culmination of his hard work has been on the Tennessee Bass Nation stuff. And he announced, when he came on our call-in show, he's also going to be running the Georgia Bass Nation Series next year, which I think will be great. Because Steve-O, I mean, dude, he pours his heart into anything that he does. So I'm sure he's going to make Georgia, run like a sewing machine too.
Oh yeah, and those Bass Nations in different states are really, really picking up. I know out in California, those guys have really latched onto that because they need something out there to qualify for national stuff.
They do, and I mean, and that's something they talk about a lot is kind of the neglect of the national trails in California. And I know, they had the Kayak Bass series that was closely tied in to KBF and kind of wouldn't let go, and a lot of those anglers really didn't like that. So kudos to them for stepping out and starting your own thing. I mean, that's what happens. If you don't like something, it's up to you to change it. So hats off to those guys for doing something about their future out there.
Good for California.
Yeah.
Are you moving to California, Mark?
No, I like my guns.
All right. Fair enough.
Maybe to Florida though, huh? What do you think?
Maybe to Florida. Florida's not a bad place.
You and
Ended up in
Shane
the
can be
ER
cousins.
yesterday.
Wow,
And,
what happened?
So I had a bad sinus infection that just put me on my ass for like 3 days. It was the throbbing headache where I couldn't move or function. And I was throwing up Saturday night, and then I was down there in Pensacola hanging out with Billy Mastorio. And I woke up Sunday and woke him up. I was like, "Hey man, I'm taking your car and I'm headed to the ER." And they gave me a concoction of pills and told me to go on about my way. And now I'm at a bar drinking beer, eating guacamole. So we're doing all right.
You telling me Texas boys go to the ER because of a sinus infection?
When I can't walk in a straight line
Wait a
and
minute
I haven't
now.
been drinking,
Hang on.
yes.
Somebody,
And I've taken
Brian
every
Howe.
over.
BDH, come get your boy. Take your Cali ass down to Florida and get your boy and drag him back to Texas and toughen him up.
Man, I took every over the counter there was, from ibuprofen to Excedrin migraine, and nothing did it. I had to go.
I'm glad you're better, Marky. I'm glad you're better.
You ain't the only one.
Yeah.
Blake Knight is defending you from Austin, son. He done stepped out in his wedges and said, "Hold up, don't put that on Texas." Oh, wow.
You know, I probably wouldn't have these problems if all these Californians didn't bring it with them. So.
Oh my! A lot of them are coming here now, Mark. A lot of them are coming here now to
Hey, you can keep
Fayetteville.
them there too, by all means.
How many Californians know where Arkansas is? To be honest,
Easy.
with you,
They just missed Texas by about 30,000 miles.
We made that list. We're like back to back with Austin on that best places to live list. So they're buying houses on the cheap. They're buying them houses on the cheap. Dude, you can buy a house here. You can sell a crack house in California and buy $1 million mansion here, I think. So
that is true.
Garrett asked if our state event is a qualifier this year. Garrett Morgan, I stepped down as president of BASS Kayak here in Arkansas after I got it going last year, and handed that over to Kyle Long. So you'll have to ask Kyle if he's going to make that happen.
Kyle Long.
Yeah,
he's a nice young man.
Dang it, Zach just clicked in and clicked back off. He's having monster problems trying to get through.
So Zach's in the running for BOS AOY.
What's that?
So Zach's in the running for the BOS AOY.
Well, he's in 15th place, but he's got a 98 and a 94. He's already qualified for TOC there, obviously, and he's got a few more events to really try to make a jump. So we wanted to talk to him about that, but some of the other stuff he's got going on. If you guys follow him on social media, he's shot some stuff on the water with Abu, doing some of their commercial and advertising stuff.
Okay.
He's big over on the TikTok for those that are over there. So I'm going to ask him a little bit about all that stuff.
Jeff says he's got some dance moves, or he's doing some twerk videos or something. I don't know. We're going to find out if he ever gets on it. I think that's probably why he's trying to fake a bad internet connection. He don't want to get roasted for this TikTok name he's got.
Man, that's somewhere it's really hard to gain traction is on TikTok. Like, that takes real commitment.
Cast off in the Brazos River one time when she's running about 95, and you'll get there real quick.
Well, that's just because you look good on camera.
No, boy. I came out swole. I was on about a 5-day binge right there coming out of that one. I carried that water weight with me. Well, Chatterbait does good.
They serve that ying up here?
What's that?
They serve Yingling draft
anywhere on the east side of the country. So Texas, according to my friend John Allen, according to our waitress at Tight Ends, Texas was supposed to be getting Yingling like 2 weeks ago. Y'all are supposed to be getting a little distributorship.
They're running about a month or two behind.
Classic.
And like that shit was transported in with a fucking armored truck. It was insane.
Yeah, boy.
They got video of that Ying recipe coming in.
Patrick Malone says that there will be a Texas event this fall for Bass Nation. Expect details in August. Awesome, Patrick. Again, Patrick, we hope you're doing well. I saw you had a good weekend hanging out with your boys. That's what it's all about, man.
Eating largemouths.
Thoughts and prayers for you. Yeah, eating those 12-inch largemouth. That's gotta help. Take it.
All right, boys. I got Zach. We're gonna try him with just the audio. We're gonna try him with just the audio and see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Zach, can you hear us? Zach Hall, can you hear us, brother? Blink twice if you can hear us.
Don't even got a camera on.
I know.
Zach, we miss you, bro.
We miss you, bro.
I need to know about how TikTok works. Come back.
I'm gonna text him back right now.
I was about to hit the Quan. I thought we were getting somewhere. Did we have anything else on our rundown list, Jeff?
No, man, we wanted to hit on those few things. There hasn't really been any big tournaments lately, so obviously we haven't been talking about that. I know we got excuse me, Susquehanna coming up, right? And Bass Pickwick.
Yeah, we got Pickwick this coming weekend. I got to bail out of ICAST early to fly up to fucking Alabama.
What's your plan on Pickwick, Mark? Let's how Mark, the Possum King Pendergraph, breaks down Pickwick Lake. Tell us your strategy.
Lots of YouTube, map study, and my goal, I got about 6 points that I've found outside of coves and creeks that I'm going to run by and mark every rock pile and any kind of brush pile I can find. And I'm going to pick the one that has the most, and that's how I'm going to fish it.
Blake Knight said boat ramps. You just got to go cast at every boat ramp you see.
Right.
I don't know if lightning going to strike the same place twice in Alabama, Blake.
No, this time I'm actually going to be out in some water this time.
All right.
Me and my 12-inch worm going to go dangle around.
We just saw you at the urinal, Mark. You ain't got to lie to us, man. Come on.
Blake Knight said he saw the urinal pic and he's going to be huge on OnlyFans, or somebody said that. I don't know.
Woo-hoo! Oh my goodness gracious!
Hey, y'all can't let Laura know I got one of those.
Oh Lord, she won't believe it anyway.
She probably would.
I met her. She's too smart for that.
Yeah, she good people. I like Laura. What about Susquehanna? Either one of y'all hitting that one? Ryan, you going to that, aren't you?
Ryan's going that one.
So I'm in Memphis this week. We are heading probably Thursday or Friday, hopefully, heading down to Apalachicola to do a little bit of saltwater fishing. Come back home, unpack, repack, and head to Susky next Wednesday, hopefully. So should get a few days of free fishing up there. I'm really looking forward to it. I love the fishery. I mean, it is tucked in the mountains of Pennsylvania. It is a super wide, shallow river that is stacked with fat smallmouth. These, I mean, they may be 18 inches long, but they're probably 16 inches wide. I mean, they are thick. So I'm really looking forward to getting back up there. I had a great time last year.
Man, it sucks I'm going to miss that one. We fly out that Monday for Wisconsin to go see Laura's family up there in Wisconsin, and she wasn't going to fly with the two boys alone. She goes, either you go fish and you don't go anywhere with me for the next 2 years, or you fly out to Wisconsin with me that Monday.
It's probably a good call, Mark, to be honest. I think you've won enough this year.
You know, I got to give you a chance.
Oh, come on now. You ain't going to beat me on smallmouth.
I mean, if I went up there and beat on Jake, that just wouldn't be fair. I mean,
anybody can beat on Jake up there.
What y'all think of that question there, Ryan? Andy Middleton.
Freddie
T's.
All right there. Probably Freddie T's is probably right. I hate to agree with him, but Freddie T's is probably the right call.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a place to stay on Pickwick, Florence, Alabama is a great town. Has a lot of entertainment, a lot of good restaurants. That's a good area to look around if you are curious.
I got a Airbnb above some shop in downtown. It's a pretty legit little condo type thing going on there. So walking distance to a lot of stuff.
Don't get kicked out. If anybody is at ICAST, hit Mark Pendergraph up. He will be your official KBN tour guide for his first trip at ICAST.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to do all the game changers, be at all the important booths, probably close to bars, or if they have pegs.
Tell Titan Tungsten we all said hello.
Is it Woo here too?
Don't let them forget Woo. Woo will actually probably be there. Titan Tungsten will just be like harvesting emails off the list or something.
They're going to be sitting in the parking lot like Guggen.
No. Hey, boy, Guggen got some money, son. Listen.
Now they do.
Throw it. Guggen will throw it. Those boys have turned a profit on that deal for sure.
Y'all remember that when their first ICAST they showed up to, when they kicked that shit off, they did it in the parking lot? Sold out in like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yep. If you got that social media following, you can move some product. They played it right.
They did. They did good.
And damn it, that's why I wanted to talk to Zach. We couldn't get.
Yeah, come on, Zach. We need to learn how to TikTok,
He,
social media, and stuff.
I don't think he's gonna make it on. He's been messaging me with major issues.
He wasn't doing that bad in the pregame lobby, though. I mean, he's a little bit choppy, but he wasn't awful.
Yeah, so I don't know. He said he can't even get it to load now. I got a question right up my alley, and yours too, Ryan. Bucks close it out in tomorrow. Or we get Game 7 in the finals.
No, I need Game 7. I need the Bucks to win 4-3. 4-3. The Bucks have to win.
That's your gambling degenerate take right there.
Dude, I think the Bucks are going to close it out, man. The Bucks are strong. I know what you want. I know what you feel in your heart. I'm just saying it feels like, when the stars line up, they line up. I think they're going to close it out.
Man, I'm playing that plus 2,500 right now, guys.
All right. I'm pulling for the Suns, but the Bucks have gotten physical the last couple games, and the Suns just can't handle it. It doesn't look like.
If the Suns would play like that dude that was folding people up in the stands, Suns in 4, then they would win. But they're not. They're letting the Bucks beat on them. I don't think they got it, man. I think the tank's in for sure.
Yeah. Hey, we got a special request for you, Mark. Brad Golden needs to get into ICAST. He's down there, but he can't get in. Ryan can probably get you a pass for a Tennessee boy, can't you, Ryan? Make a phone call or something.
Man, Steve-O.
Cal Coaster, somebody's got to have something.
Steve-O's he's got probably a dugout tag with my name on it in his pocket. You can put on a wig and slide right in there, Brad. Don't let them say no to you.
I mean, I'm teamed with a company from Johnson Outdoors, and I landed with hummingbirds. So,
Brad, they'll let you in if you tell them that you almost tied and then ended up winning Angler of the Year for TVKA.
With your dad?
You slide right in. Yeah, they'll let you come on in there. You tell them you know Terry Golden, you're in the door.
I've traded a few more messages with Zach. It feels like we are dead in the water with that.
Jeff, we are not dead in the water. I'm going to pull the pin on the hand grenade. Call in Clifton Allen. Do it.
Do it.
Well, wouldn't you know? I already tried that, and he can't get in either.
Shut up. Are you kidding me after all that trash he talked?
Yeah. Hey, so that long post about that KFL thing with the bandits and everything, what's the dude's name? James Lavoie, Bill Lavoie?
Hey, wait a minute, guys. We got some stuff.
Uh-oh.
It's a KBN miracle, maybe. Let's see.
I feel like, what?
He's frozen in time. Can you hear us, Zach?
I've been running across the yard. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh man,
I've been running across the yard, drinking beer, and trying to get this thing to work.
Well, we got audio anyway.
So y'all sound good now, and I can see y'all.
All right,
that's good.
He's in Michigan, folks, but he don't sound like he's from Michigan.
You saying we don't look good? We just sound good? Come on now. It's rude, Zach.
No, y'all are smooth on y'all's end.
Y'all are smooth. So tell us about yourself, Zach. We've been trying to hype you up here, but Jeff tells us you are some sort of tic-tac dancing sensation over there, and you are Abu Garcia famous, apparently.
Yeah. So the TikTok thing started 2 years ago. Hot and heavy really quick, but I don't know if they changed up algorithms.
We losing them again, Ryan?
That ain't been too hot here lately. But, that was a fun photo shoot with Abu Garcia in Berkeley. My buddy Ben Nowak got me in on that.
What was your first video on TikTok?
Oh, so y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, man.
With Abu Garcia in Berkeley? Or TikTok?
TikTok.
Oh, God. Now we're going to go back to breaking up.
Okay. I don't want to break up, Zach. I want you to stay
I don't even
with
remember.
us forever.
Something stupid, probably. Something I thought was funny at the time. And okay, this is just going to ruin the whole podcast.
No, you're good, bro.
We ruined it ourselves.
Yeah, we don't do it good. We do it in bad locations. I got muted because I had kids screaming behind me in the pool.
Okay.
It is. I'm gonna bring them out. It's brutal, guys. I can't hear them. I can't see them. Zach, I'm sorry, brother. We're gonna schedule you for another day because this is not just not working. And I'll take the blame somehow. I'll say it's Arkansas's fault.
It's got to be Arkansas's fault.
Yeah.
We shot our shot. Clifton really can't come in here and pull us out of this ditch.
No. But hey, you know what? We've had a good conversation for dang near 40 minutes. And I wasn't sure I was even going to be able to get on here, so it's still been all right.
And you don't sound like you're dying no more, so that's a good thing.
Medicine's working. My head is swimming. I'm a little dizzy, but that's all right.
I like that.
What'd you diagnose yourself with?
Oh, just bad allergies and sinus infection. I'm good.
So lots of Oxycontin and beer?
Yes.
Oxycontin for a sinus infection?
You sniff it.
What part of Florida are you in? Jacksonville? Shit. I ain't just handing out Oxycontins for a sinus infection down there.
Jeff said sniff it. It works.
Yeah. So we're going to have to 100% reschedule Zach for another day. We'll get him in here with a good signal and because I want to talk to him. He's a good dude. I met him at the ramp at a couple different places, and we had a good old time out there early in the mornings, a few different tournaments. So I think he'll be a good interview if we can get some signal pumped to him somewhere.
And y'all fished a couple of the same ramps, you said, at multiple tournaments. So clearly he has great taste in fishing.
Yeah. He was at Dardanelle. We ran into each other on day 2 and then launched at the same place. And then on day 1 and 2 at Rayburn, we launched at the same place.
How did he do in those 2 events?
Dardanelle, he was right there with the both of us, except for your big bass. We were all kind of in the crapper. But at Rayburn, he did good. I think he was in the top 30, top 40, something like that. Yeah, he caught.
I don't want to spoil his next episode, but you said he's in pretty good AOY standings as far as the BOS goes right now, correct?
Yeah. He's in 15th, but he's got 2 top 5 finishes basically included in that, with a couple of horrible finishes to back it up. So all he needs is one. Yeah, even a top 15 finish would put him way up there. And then with a good TOC, he's as got as good a shot as anybody at hitting that AOY. So, he's got 3 events left. I don't think he's fishing Susky. He'll be at, I think, La Crosse and Pickwick. So he's got a shot to Cole 1 and make it happen.
Either of y'all coming up to La Crosse?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'm debating, man. I've got I won't be at my house for 13 days starting today, which I was only there for 2 days before I left. But anyhow, I'm not gonna have a whole lot of time around the house, and I kind of like to rest up. I've got Tennessee State Championship, Pickwick, and then the TOC left on my committed schedule this year. So I'm kind of trying to rest up a little bit. If I have to do lacrosse, in my own mind. If I tell myself that I need it or something, trick myself.
Well, you just agreed to an Airbnb with me and Jeff, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I did that when? Right now?
Just 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Jay's looking for a spot up there too, perhaps.
I don't care.
Let's do a house.
Yeah. Zach's in the YouTube comments. He's watching on YouTube. He was able to get on there and watch. So, Zach, thanks for at least watching.
We had something else. We had, and if you can think of any other interesting posts on the page, Jeff, go ahead while I'm bullshitting about this. But we had a good question today earlier on the KBN page. A guy asked, between the Slayer Max and the Kuda HDFD, whatever. And that sparked a lot of good conversation. And I think something that pro staffers and whatnot or previous owners should keep in mind is these people are going to go out and spend money on this. They're gonna go out and drop $2,500, $3,000 on this kayak that you recommend. So give them all the pros and cons. Shoot them straight and don't beat around the bush and be like, yeah, this is perfect, man. You can take it out 4 miles offshore, and then they sink and have to get rescued or something. You don't want that on you. I've seen people literally pulled up on the bank bailing water out of a boat and kind of, to be honest, look at me for it. Like, that's don't put that weight on your shoulders. Just shoot them straight up and tell them every boat's got its weaknesses. All of them do. Everybody does. But shoot these folks straight when they're looking to go out and purchase something new. And guys that are looking to buy a new kayak and switch over brands or try something that you've never been in, get out and test as many as you can. Make your own decision. That way, the only person you can blame is yourself. Just make a well-informed decision. That's my advice on that.
I had that conversation with a gentleman at the bar earlier when I first got down here.
What were y'all discussing? Liquors? Try every one of them, man. We'll figure out the best one.
It started out as talking about fresh made guacamole, then somehow we ended up on fishing to kayaks. So, but he's like, well, what's the best kayak out there? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm biased. I'm with the brand, and here's how I stature everything: is you've got Hobie and Old Town. Those are your top two choices. If you want a well-made, well-rounded boat. If you want something you're looking to modify, you can move into the Wildies. You can move into the Jacksons. You can move into Bonafide and New Canoes. If you're wanting to add trolling motors. But just a kayak off the rack, your two best bets are most likely going to be Hobie and Old Town.
I think you have two different categories. I think you have like the pedal drive tournament kayaks that you can fish anything from your local trails all the way up to the BOS series. And then you have the boats that you buy that you know that you have to have a motor with. You know, kayaks that you can't paddle comfortably, you can't paddle for long distances. Like, you're going to have a motor with these kayaks. I think it's understood up front. But I think as far as like pedal drives go, you know, you made the statement pretty clear. Old Town and Hobie kind of lead the way as far as quality and customer service.
Longevity.
I don't think there's an argument on either one of those. And I know Hobie, they came out with a 360. There's been 360 issues, and Hobie has, honestly, I had a 360 issue myself, and I had a new drive in about a week, and probably 4 days of that was because I wasn't in town. But, you know, had a replacement drive quickly. I'd used it for over a year, beat on it pretty good, but eventually, you know, it did give out. So that's something you have to take into account. The 180 drive with the kick-up pins is much more durable, but you trade out that maneuverability. Old Town's drives, you can beat the shit out of them, and they have, you know, forward and reverse instantly. What I didn't like myself out of fishing out of the Old Town was the storage of the Old Town. That, for me, that was the trade-off with the Hobie, looking at both of those. Yeah. I think you can't go wrong with either one of them. You just have to look at what kind of waters you fish. If you're fishing deeper, clear water, I don't think you can beat an Old Town. Like, they're super fast, they're stable. I mean, they'll get it done. If you're fishing like shoals and beaches and grass and, you know, shallow rocks and stuff, those kick-up fins are clutch, especially in grass going through cover like that. I think that's a plus.
What's the old saying, boys? I don't know who coined it first. Is buy your second boat first if you can when you're out there searching for boats.
I mean, I went through my fair share of duds. So
that's how it works out, man. I mean, I don't know anybody that just went straight out and bought the boat that they still have now, like 4 years ago. I'm not saying upgrade year models. I'm saying literally went out and bought the same thing that they're in love with 4 or 5 years later. Because you always, you know, the grass is always greener. You're always looking for like, oh, wait a minute, you know, they came out with a motor integration. They got spotlight. Like, there's always something in your head that's going on.
Josh Smith's in the comments. If you don't know Josh from the Dark Waters podcast, you need to check him out. He's asking if Zack was not able to get on. He was not. He was having monster problems getting on with his connection. So we're going to reschedule him, get him in here another time. But luckily we had the Possum King live from, we had to kind of lead him into remembering he was at ICAST, but he's down at ICAST.
From the kiddie pool.
Yeah. So he was going to.
I got ropes and shit around me, dude.
Look at this. Are you in the water?
Yeah, I'm in the water.
Oh, why didn't you just pee in the water? Why'd you go to the urinal to begin with?
Well, I wasn't in the water when I was in the turtle.
Oh, no.
Well, that's pretty awesome. First ever live from the pool. I like that.
Hey, live from the pool in Orlando. It's where the party's going to be.
You left your shirt on at least. You didn't go Ryan Van Tyne on us. Appreciate that.
Dude, my belt was white.
That was the most concerning video feed that I think we ever had pop up on.
I don't know. Paul Roberts called in the first time we did a call in, shirtless with a Donald Duck hat on. So that's right there.
Facts, but he had a Donald Duck hat on, so I took him a lot more seriously.
That gives you some leeway right there. If I popped up on those live feed without a shirt on, you probably wouldn't have 10 viewers. I'm just.
So there's you can throw up the comment if you want to about the $5,000 Hobies versus a motor rig bona fide. I don't care if you give me a bona fide rig with torpedoes and shit. I ain't paying $5,000 for that. I do apologize. That's I'll take the $5,000 Hobie all day.
Man, I owned a bona fide, and I've been out of a bona fide for 2 years, and I still take shit for owning one.
Yeah, you do.
It was. The only thing I liked about that boat was the seat. That was it. That the drawer underneath my seat were the best attributes of that boat. It paddled for shit. It wouldn't hold in the wind. It didn't matter what I did. I mean, it was a rough boat. And then now I see people with big ass trolling motors on the front, and their whole ass end of the kayak sticking out of the water. It drives me insane.
It happens. Everybody's got to make the choices.
I'm not a physicist, boys, but I don't know what happens when you got those bow mounted, that are static mounted up there like that. When you ram something at full speed, what happens?
I'm gonna say you end up in the water.
I've heard some people. I've heard of some people in the water, but I know in the autopilot, it just kicks up, gets out of the way. I don't know what those bow mounts do. So
I like those autopilot trolling motors.
Yeah.
I've hit a few stumps on fork, and they just come right back up in the boat. Nothing breaks. I don't fall over. And I keep on moving.
Hey,
I've had this conversation with Old Town upper level gentlemen. Give some rod holders, a little bit of storage, and a larger trolling motor on that autopilot, and I'll have one. I promise. I'm not even kidding. I love the integration between the trolling motor and Hummingbird and the kayak. Like, that's genius, and they have all the tools to do it, and I really hope that they do. That will be the game changer, right?
And a mini Raptor for the ass end of it. We've been asking for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all see the comment? You probably can't see Zach's comment from YouTube. He's on YouTube watching. He's moving to Louisiana in a few weeks, so he's heading back south. So maybe we'll have good signal.
I'd love to interview Zach and find out where he's going in Louisiana.
We're going to bring him back. We're going to bring you back, Zach. We're going to bring you back.
But so of all places he chose to go in the South, he chose Louisiana.
Well, I mean, Louisiana, bad spot, dude. I love Louisiana, not for the weather. I would never move there because you have to leave there so much. But the food, the people, the fishing, Louisiana is. Excuse me?
It's a family show, Mark. For God's sake.
Sir. No, says I. Get this boy out of here.
Kick me out.
I think his connection's cutting out, Jeff.
Hey, is this true, Mark? We're going to take a few more comments. We'll wrap this thing up. Jeff Isham said, first time he met you was at a cats tournament. You showed up to a tournament that used cameras without a camera. Is that true?
No. I had a digital camera at that tournament. I did read those rules. The first time I met Jeff, him and I can't remember his travel buddy, but it was my first tournament. I was in like jeans and little hunting boots, and like I wasn't prepared for like having to wade out in the water or anything. And I had my Wilderness Commander, and I know they pushed me out. I got hung up trying to get the boat gone. They waded out and pushed me out into the water. But as far as I remember, I had a digital camera with me. Now Jeff's loaned me a lot of stuff along the way. There's been a couple tournaments, but there was a tournament I showed up to, and I misread the weather report, and I showed up in shorts and flip-flops, and it was like 30 degrees that morning. So he gave me some nice wool socks to wear while I was on the water.
He gave you socks?
Yeah, he gave me socks.
That's a stand-up dude right there.
What a good man.
Jeff Isham's good people, man. He's one of the people
He is good people. We've in a couple of these tournaments that we've been at, we've sat down across the table from each other and broke bread. And Jeff is a good dude, just a solid, good person. Like you said, he'll help anybody, but he is great to have a conversation with. Jeff has a unique viewpoint on life.
He does, and he's dabbled in a little bit of everything throughout his life. I did not borrow a camera.
He says you are drunk and you borrowed a camera and a pair of socks.
What camera did I borrow?
Oh,
I had a little blue digital camera I carried with me everywhere.
Wow, those were the days.
That was when Martin just
that was 6 years
his
ago, so
own
he might be right. I've had head trauma since. So
Matt Printers, I remember Allmark and that sit in Wildy.
We got a new viewer, Trey Baker. Thanks for watching, Trey.
Hey,
we pieced it together. Even without our scheduled guests, we had the Possum King and Memphis in May or Memphis in July Ryan up there, so we made it happen. And I'm riding high on Dayquil and Sudafed, so I'm
Oxycontins and sinus infections.
Yeah.
Whatever the VA gives out nowadays.
That's right. We don't ask. You just take it blindly.
Oh my goodness. You guys, again, we apologize for the Shim Sham show that we put together tonight, but we did. Thank you, Mark. Honestly, you being in the swimming pool and taking us to the bathroom pre-show has really saved this one.
Set the tone.
I'm glad I could make it happen for y'all tonight. It's the least I can do for everything y'all both have done for me.
We started in the toilet and we pretty much stayed there all night long. So
the Possum King doing what he can for his subjects. We appreciate it.
The views ain't changed much better.
The king.
Yeah, man. All right.
What do you think your chances of repeating are next year?
In South Carolina during Spawn?
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee a top 10 finish.
Oh.
What? Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, right? So I've been back and forth. I've sent some messages to Bass talking about different things, things I'd like to see changed and everything.
Oh.
And in that, I'm trying to get a spot for the Bass Kayak Champion to be able to fish in the Classic if he can get a full ride. If he can find himself a ride, I think a Kayak Champion should have a chance to show off against the bass boats.
So I had talked about that with not Bass Presidentes or anything, but actual anglers in the Elite Series. I'm like, what would y'all think about a dude fishing his way into the Classic via the kayak trail? I'm like, man, I think that'd be awesome. It'd be such a cool story to show, like, you bust your ass, you follow this trail, you put in the work, and here's your chance to show what you got against the big boat boys, Yeah. I think it would be awesome. I really do.
And cool. I've got a couple ways. Like, I haven't gotten to really have the big conversation yet. I'm doing what I can from my little small soapbox that I got. But and even if they wanted to run it, it'd be great for publicity for Bass, because they could run it as a rags to riches story if they wanted to. Started out in kayaks, now you're in a bass boat and you're competing against the big dogs.
I don't want to rain on the parade for that, but I'm fairly confident half these people couldn't drive a boat, so I don't know how that would work.
Do what?
I can sometimes, unless I go drinking with Steve-O. Then we make all kinds of mistakes. Right?
I'm serious. I don't know. A lot of these people, kayak fishing is their first entrance into off the bank. I don't know if they could drive a boat. Even the really good anglers.
I went out the first day in mine and almost sank it. So it is what it is.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying, you don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah, but it gives you a full year to prepare yourself.
That's true.
And and it gives you time to make the right connections to whether you can get a ride or not. And if you can't, I think Bass should be able to step up and get you at least a ride and know how to use it.
If Bass signs on for that, if they do, I'll bring my boat to any kayak angler and they can take off and have the thing.
There you go.
I'll drive the son of a bitch. All they got to do is fish off the front.
Hell,
mine's 20 years old, but it'll run 72 miles an hour. Let's do it.
Even if they couldn't do a classic berth at first, maybe a spot in an Elite Series event, something to get them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely, or like maybe some paid entries into the opens. I don't know. But
I would like to see the classic berth part, because that is such a huge even if you're at the very bottom of the list in finishing at a classic, qualifying for a classic is such a big deal. And because they are running this kayak fishing tournament in conjunction with the classic, I think that would be much more fitting, than like, hey, you get a July event in the elites. Like, I would much rather see a actual qualifier to the classic. And I think if you want to talk about driver participation, this is something else that I meant to touch on earlier, Jeff, while we were bullshitting around. But Dwayne posted something on Targeting Eggs. Why are numbers down, referring to Bass, I assume, because Hobie numbers are averaging like, 116 or 120 or something this year. Bass numbers are down because Bass is not showing the attention that they should to the kayak anglers as far as information and organization and promoting the anglers in the events. And I'm not talking about the classic. The classic was great. What Mark got to experience was second to none. I don't think there's anything, and I love the BOS and the Tournament of Champions. That does not rival what Mark got to experience on that classic stage. It doesn't. But, as far as what they could be doing throughout the rest of the series, I feel like that's why the numbers are down. I feel like that's where the struggle is coming into play.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, I think that they're risking or maybe putting too much hope on the states to pick up the slack for participation and not enough focus on the big opens. You know what I mean? They're kind of leaning on the states to come up with their own organizations and drive numbers for their year-end championship, which it doesn't need to be that way. They need to put the resources in.
Yeah, they are leaning on the states from what I can see, but I mean, also there's a hindrance from the guy that actually runs the state that the kayakers have to answer to. They're like plastic boats. We don't really care, whatever.
Right.
So that's completely state dependent. So I will say in Tennessee specifically, Steve-O is obviously running the Bass Nation Kayak Series in Tennessee, which will automatically gain people's trust because Steve-O's ran big events. We trust Steve-O. But Dr. Yuskovic, who's the guy, he's the Bass Nation president over the boating side. He literally went out and bought a kayak and has went and fished all the kayak tournaments in his area to learn what it's about so he can appreciate what the kayak anglers are bringing. He comes to our weigh-ins. He comes and has dinner with us. Hats off to Dr. Dave because he is really invested in the kayak side. And I think if more states will take on that approach to where they learn kind of this new horizon that they have in front of them, that's going to make us all a lot more successful.
Definitely, and I agree with that. I mean, it's going to have to start with Bass and who's been there already, taking an interest in kayaks to understand that, oh my God, there's an untapped potential here for people just to grow and grow and grow and grow. Because even if it's not win a classic and go to the classic or go to the elites, it's, well, shit, these kayak guys, you got top 10. These guys are always there in the top 10. Well, let's give some of them a shot at the elite series, see what they do there, move on, move forth. I mean, that's how you build and continue rising the business is you find new avenues. And I think this is going to be one of their strongest ways to keep doing it.
I think if they set up an AOY style system and give a berth to the elite events, I think that would be cool. Like something like where you were consistent all year long, you get the berth to fish the elites. I think that would be neat. And what Jesse said is completely true. Thank you, Jesse, for chiming in there.
Did you guys see David's question?
I tried to read it and backed off. Yeah.
Not only his question, but his flexing abs in his profile picture. Come on, David.
I mean, at least put on a shirt. We're not all
Dave commented on some stuff. It was earlier today or yesterday, and I was like, "Boy, out here looking like young Conrad, son. He's throwing that flex out." I feel you, Dave. Get it, son.
Are we even sure he fishes? Most fishermen don't look like that.
It don't matter. Let him go. Let him live his life.
I
remember when I had an ab one day.
Y'all think MLF will jump in? That was his question. Do you think they'll jump in?
They're going to have to. They're going to try. But once again, it's just going to be more saturated than it already is.
Slippery slope with MLF. So, I mean, Bass is cool as far as, Bass has the name. They have a long time established name. what MLF would bring to the table, in my opinion, is MLF would bring potentially that live feed footage and that immense resource of being able to put these anglers out on television and live feeds exposure wise, because MLF has pushed bass to do better on their live. I mean, by far, they've pushed bass to the next level on their live coverage. That's something that Bass never really did a great job at. MLF did. MLF kicked their teeth in on viewers. And now Bass with the Elite Series coverage this year, and we see it in our group chat, Jay is constantly posting us updates on the BASS stuff all day long. They have really driven that, that viewership that they've needed for the past few years. But man, the MLF app, you pull it up, you click on there, watch live, whatever. It's instantaneous. It's a seamless thing. You're not having to go to a website. You're not having to wait on the feed to load. You're not having to watch 30 commercials to get to the live feed. I think MLF coming to kayak fishing would be a great thing. Do I have any insider knowledge that that's happening? No, I don't. But I would not be upset at all, because I think if there's an organization that can come in and do better, you shouldn't be mad at it. We welcomed FLW when they tried it and flopped after the 40-person classic or whatever it was. We've let Bass in. Bass did a good job at the classic this year. They're working on the series, and I hope that they take feedback and grow the series. That's where they're lacking. But I think if MLF came in and put the resources into it, they could be a contender. I mean, there's nothing that's locked up here. There's a huge population of kayak anglers. I don't think anybody, just has it, in their grasp right now.
And the thing is, man, MLF kayak fishing is made for that. Like, we're already set for it because it's catch and release. You know what I mean? It's not like a local bass club. It's impossible almost to do an MLF tournament unless you just do it on paper.
Do you think they'd run it as an unlimited catch? Or
I don't know. If they wanted to.
Come in as like the Big Five and you still do your five
I think they
fish
could, but I think the Big Five is going to be the way. I think MLF even realized when they went to their 2 pound rule, people want to see big fish caught. And, I think catching numbers is cool, whatever. But if you set on a school of 14-inch spots all day long, that is not the same as sitting on a school of 18 to 20-inch largemouth on a ledge. Like, that is a completely different skill level. So I don't think they would go to an unlimited inches format. I think it would be the Big Five type format.
I got to throw Bob Baylor's comment up. There's a lot to digest in that. Whoa.
Damn.
Damn, Bob. What the hell went on here? I was just talking about the participation. I ain't talking about nobody getting murdered.
Yeah, I didn't know Forrest. I didn't know.
I love to blame a lot of things on KBF. I cannot blame Forrest Wood getting murdered on KBF in this instance.
Wow. For those on the
it's not. Oh, hang on.
Uh-oh.
He got to slap some kids. Mom, shut up, kids. I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this thing up here in a minute before Mark gets overrun with the juniors back there.
Jesus, I thought a little kid was gonna die. Get over here. But yeah, I mean, you, like Brian said, you can blame a lot of stuff on KBF, but
I don't think they had Forrest Wood murdered by his wife. That was pretty intense, Bob. But appreciate
I don't think FLW and kayak fishing would have gone really anywhere. I just don't think they really wanted it to in the first place. Yeah. Whereas Bass came in with them wanting to make kayak fishing work for them.
Yeah.
And these big companies like MLF, I
know initially there were some talks about BASS and KBF. Bass tried to buy KBF at one point, if I recall correctly. I'm glad that didn't happen. I do like that Bass is coming in doing their own thing. They didn't try to latch on to KBF. They didn't try to latch on to Hobie. They're trying to build their own thing. I hope that the feedback gets a more direct line back to John Stewart and the executives as to what needs to happen. I think that is the missing link of the potential that the sport has right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good stuff. What a good show tonight, in spite of everything, guys. You want to wrap this thing up, Ryan? What do you think?
Jeff.
Yeah, I think we should. I think Mark's peed in the pool twice by now. There's some more kids swimming right behind him, so we should probably help everyone out.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. We actually had some Twitch viewers tonight, Ryan.
What is Twitch?
I was twitching all the time.
Yeah, we had Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
Jumped over my head.
Yeah, we ran the trifecta tonight. So thank y'all for hanging in there and watching, for all the good comments. It was even you, Bob, with the murder mystery conspiracy theory comment. Appreciate that. Yeah, fun stuff.
Matthew Kasperek asked about the KFL news. We covered that a little bit earlier. Apparently, a newly banned KBBBBBT face of KBBT showed up at the ramp, shaking hands, kissing babies, trying to fish with the team that was fishing in the KFL, and got the whole squad DQ'd. So
yeah, I think he's going to start his new league called the XFL of fishing on his own, and see how that goes. We'll see.
Before we shut it off, Zack did make a couple comments about kayakers moving into the bass boat world and how much more of an advantage we'd have because we have to dissect a smaller area. If we could dissect an entire lake the way we fish a small area, I think we would overrun everybody.
Well, we'll see. It can also mess you up. I saw a lot of guys get worse at fishing when they got pedal drives because they weren't patient enough anymore. It just depends. You know what I mean?
Is that what happened to you?
Yep, exactly what happened to me. I won a lot more money when I was paddling, strangely enough.
Lord.
But,
all right, Mark,
anyway.
Be careful. Put your swimmies on. Jeff, I appreciate you suffering through even though you're sick tonight, man.
Yeah, man. And Zach, we're going to get you rescheduled, brother.
Y'all have a good night, boys.
Y'all go sign up for Save JT.
You had about 2,000 people laughing. All they can hear you was you in the background.